very honest POV, right? But the more I live a purpose-driven life, right, I have one question to ask everybody else, right? Who maybe has not found their purpose yet. And my one question is, right, how do you ever expect your purpose to call you when you're constantly on the phone with everybody else's expectations? You're constantly on the phone with everybody else's callings, right? You're constantly on social media consuming all of these ideologies, right, about what the perfect purpose must mean for you. And you take this generic sort of idea, or this generic like 10 people that you see on the in the web, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I need to be married by 26. I need to be working like a CEO role by 24. And there's nothing wrong with ambition, right? Believe me, I love ambition. I'm a very ambitious person, right? But my ambition is not stunted by everybody else's expectations. Because the moment that you set these expectations on what your purpose must look like, you limit your own purpose. Because what if your purpose is something that doesn't even exist yet? What if it is something that has not, like, it is so grand, right? It's so grand, right? That it doesn't exist yet. And the point of it is that you're supposed to silence out the noise, right? And start building on that purpose in silence, right? Because a lot of us love noise. We love music. We love something in our ears. We love always constantly consuming things that block us from hearing our calling, because hearing your calling comes in silence. I gain my biggest ideas in silence, not when I'm listening to music. No, because music also has its own, it also has its own purpose. When the conductor, or when the person who was writing the song was coming up with these words, right, there was a purpose to it, right? And that purpose, it was great. Maybe it was uplifting. Maybe it was helping other people out, right? But now it's blocking my purpose, because I can't hear myself think. I cannot hear God speak to me and transmute information in my head. And he never can call me if I'm constantly on the phone, right? Constantly, hello, right? So me personally, right, from a very honest POV of somebody who's living a entirely purpose-driven life and creating something that has never been created before, you will never ever find your purpose when you're constantly consuming everybody else's expectations. Because when can your phone ever ring if it's constantly filled, right, with all this? There's just like time, right, where that time that would be used to invest in what is meant for you, right, you're busy investing it in everything else. Right? Well, as you grow up in life, as you mature in life, you must understand what is necessary and what is not necessary. And the world will constantly try to convince you that everything is necessary. And that is untrue. What is necessary to somebody in Australia is not necessary to somebody else on the other side of the world. Even though it might have economic implications, it shouldn't cost yourself, you shouldn't cost yourself your peace because of that. You shouldn't cost yourself your purpose. You shouldn't tell yourself that it's not possible for me because it wasn't possible for them. Purpose